Your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Don Getling here with new co-host today. He's been awesome to have on the show today. One of our expert contributors on a regular basis, our own debt doctor, Mr. Lou Esbin with Esbin Law. I love having you here, buddy.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, Don.
Well, you're very good at it.
Oh, well, I've been doing it for quite a while, so I enjoy it.
Yes. And we were talking about the value of working with true professionals and stuff, and it makes a difference because I love getting your intake on stuff because as a true professional, you're involved in all the same stuff I am.
Yeah, we really are.
We were talking about, well, in my business, I have to ask this question, do this or do this. I'm like, well, I do too. We have to.
When you really think about it, we're all gathering together the same basic information and disclosures. And people have to understand that if you're going to seek out a professional like you guys or myself or others in the APRG, then you need to be willing to, I like to use the expression, bury your kimono. Because if you don't, you're not going to get complete information.
Right.
And you may not like what you hear. And you may not like how it's delivered. But I think that we all provide essential, important information for people to make informed decisions. We need to make sure that the people who come to us do not put their heads in the sand like they did the last time around. They need to go into these transactions, whether it's getting a new mortgage or considering making a substantial financial decision, doing a bankruptcy or a financial restructuring or anything. They need to go into it with their eyes open and not like deer in headlights.
Right.
And, you're right. We're asking for the same information.
Well, what I love, too, is, and you got to really think about this, when you choose a professional, a lot of times cost comes into play. And it should, but in a lot of ways, be careful what you're not paying for, I should say. Not what you are paying for, what you're not paying for, because the amount of experience is invaluable to you. Because I know in our group, as the APRG group, and this is not, trying to plug all of us, it's just the fact that we have all come together for a reason, is that we have handled thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions. Therefore, we have 20-plus years experience, probably each of us, plus, of seeing the pitfalls, seeing the advantages, know what questions to ask, reading between the lines, which is really key because a lot of times a lot of you won't give us or know to give us certain information, and we know how to get the information we need to make an educated decision, help you make an educated decision.
And the other thing is that, for example, I'm going on my 30th year of doing this.
Woo! He started when he was 10.
Yeah, that's right. Don't think that, I call it the Yogi effect. Remember, Yogi Bear said, "I'm smarter than the average bear, boo-boo."
Right.
There's nothing that hasn't been done that we haven't seen.
I agree.
And so don't think that you're going to sit in front of one of us and think that you've found a new way to make gold from, straw, whatever.
Or a scenario that we just are shocked by.
Right. There's nothing we haven't seen. There's nothing underwriters haven't seen. There's nothing judges haven't seen. And so the best thing to do is just tell us the way it is. We'll give you the feedback you need, and you'll have the basis upon which to make an informed decision after going through like, want, need, and afford.
Right. And another thing you brought up during the break, Lou, I really like, is the fact that being in this business as long as we have, and we're true professionals, we've seen it all, therefore we're not shocked by anything. No. Therefore, there is no judging going on. I always attribute it to going to your doctor. You don't think anything about it. The doctor says, I've seen a million people, without their clothes on. It doesn't even faze me anymore. It's the same thing with looking at any of your financials or giving you direction on anything.
Right.
It doesn't faze us. This is just us doing our business. If you were to ask me what any of my clients make, I have no clue. I do when I'm doing their transaction because I need to, but that's just a form. That's just numbers.
Right. And people, when they come see me, say for a bankruptcy situation or they're in a financial distress situation, they think by coming to see me, they're committing to one thing or another. And I try to tell them, look, you're not. I'm here to give you information. If based upon the information I give you, you decide that you want to move forward, we're going to move forward. And that's just really, really important. And I'll sit there and I'll listen to people, and it's interesting because one will say one thing and one will say another, and I'll say, well, wait a second, you said this and you said that. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, And very often people are uncomfortable with that.
Right. Well, we were talking about, let's just bring up bankruptcy for one thing. I mean, you're a financial attorney. You help out with so many things, new businesses starting, but one of your expertise is obviously as one of the, 130 bankruptcy specialists out of 10,000, attorneys out here, something like that?
There's 140 certified bankruptcy specialists in the state out of 300,000 licensed lawyers.
Oh, I was off by
You're
a few.
way off.
300,000. Okay, so, working with a true professional makes a huge difference, and the fact that you're comfortable enough that people are afraid to talk to a specialist sometimes. They're almost embarrassed, but they shouldn't be. I mean, you talk about people that have filed bankruptcy. It is a tool that, Lincoln has used and Walt Disney has used,
right.
and you go down the list of big-name people that have had to use bankruptcy for a reason.
Yeah.
There's true hardships out there. A lot of us have gone through hardships.
And people don't realize that it is an essence of our Constitution. It's Article 3, Section 8 of the Constitution provides that Congress shall enact uniform laws on bankruptcy. And it's always been in there. The first set of bankruptcy laws were in 1801. Jefferson took advantage of bankruptcy.
That's right. Yeah. And it's in the Bible.
It is. Deuteronomy 15 is the Lord's release.
Right.
So I get people come to me and they say, well, I feel it's morally wrong. And I show them, well, there's a biblical reference, they feel better. or they say, I think it's illegal. And I show them it's in the Constitution, and they see it's okay. It is the essence of our capitalist economy that you have that safety valve to open up and release the pressure.
Okay. So if you're going through any kind of hardships right now, you want to reach out to some great professionals, whether it's, unfortunately, it may be divorce, it may be financial matters and so forth. Reach out to us at 855-DON-GINO or donandgino@gmail.com. Or, Lou, what's the best way to get a hold of you, buddy?
Esbin Law, ESBINLAW.com, and I'm at 661-254-5050.
Lou is your friend. Just remember that. Lou is your friend because he's helped out so many clients, and they're always relieved when they after they talk to you, like, wow,
yeah.
I feel so much better. I have a plan of action.
And we did that great mediation for those two guys.
Oh, that was huge. They are very pleased.
Oh, that's good.
Good job. Good job. Thank you very much, Lou, for being part of our show today.
Much.
All right, buddy. And we'll have you back on. Really excited about our APRG launch coming up. And we want to thank you for joining us. Do not go away because we have another great expert contributor coming up. You've heard him often, one of the coolest real estate professionals in town, Mr. Elgin Walker, coming on to share with you what's really happening in the real estate market today from one of the top real estate professionals. Do not go away. We'll be right back.